After nearly 2 years of building and being on the road, it's time for round 3. If you guys missed it, I recently bought my dream truck camper. It's sitting on a 2006 Toyota Tundra, and it's a 6'11" Bigfoot. For those of you who don't know, these campers are extremely rare. They were only built for 2 years, and they're highly desirable because of their clamshell fiberglass design. They're known for being bulletproof, waterproof, and everything else in between. And I'm really excited to renovate this thing and turn it into a dream home for my dog and I. In the past, I've built out vans, school buses, and had way longer timelines. This one, I'm on a time crunch. I want to get back on the road before the first of the year, so that's the goal for now, which leaves us about 6 weeks to complete everything we need to on the truck and the camper. 6 weeks might seem like a ton of time to simply renovate something because a lot of renovations are just a coat of paint, but this guy needs a lot of work. While the camper itself is incredible and I'm really excited about the bones, the interior needs some love. It's definitely lacking, and what used to have 90s vibes has been coated over in multiple layers of paint. People have tried to trim this thing out, added really sketchy power sources, outlets, and questionable propane hoses, which I'm a little bit nervous to use. So unfortunately, as it stands right now, I don't have power, I don't have propane, my water system doesn't work. We're starting from zero. But before we can start building, the fun part. We gotta demo this baby. First things first, we gotta get rid of some of this decor. Disgusting. So, big bummer, but also points to why I am ripping apart this entire camper and not just trying to give it a facelift. I just found my first, well, my second leak, but my first major behind the wall leak. So I was actually thinking it was gonna be kind of hard to show you, but you guys can probably tell how squishy that is. Squishy and wet. Like, that is actually damp to the touch right now, which means this entire wall panel back here is probably gonna need to be replaced. So now that I've removed the sink, you can see, especially down in here, how bad this water damage actually is. If I'm pushing here, all of this is just completely soft. Not sure if it was a leak here with this or if it was a leak down here, which is the sink drain, but something in this area caused massive wood rot. You can see all of this. I'm just sticking my screwdriver into it. All of this wood is gonna have to come out. So originally I was hoping I could save this corner, which, you know, up there doesn't look bad. Carpet's gross, but doesn't look bad, doesn't look bad. And then you get down here, and I knew there was a little bit of water damage before removing this cabinet. I could see that. And originally I had thought, basically behind this mount, someone just screwed in both of these screws and then 2 more holes that are open behind it right now and never sealed it. So when you come in, makes sense, there'd be water damage here. And there is, but it's not just like a little bit. It's obviously really old. Oh, are you guys able to see this? Here, let me step on it. That's what we're working with. Oh my god. All right, you guys, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit shocked at how bad the water damage was, or is. I knew that there was some water damage from this screw plate issue, but there is water damage along, and wood rot, most importantly, not just visual damage, aesthetic damage, but there is wood rot around the entire left-hand driver's side basin, unfortunately. I'm gonna definitely have to rip all that out. I'm gonna have to replace the lower walls, and I'm probably gonna have to, if not definitely just out of precaution, replace the entire subfloor, because not only is it rotting in that corner, but it's really soft and uneven in other areas. And so I can only imagine that this has been going on for quite some time. This sat out in Minnesota for 2 years uncovered just on the side of a house and was exposed to the elements there. It was in Idaho before, which also gets very wet and rainy. And so if this has been present for even a few years, it's been exposed to multiple winters, many rainy seasons, and the wood rot, I'm sure, is extensive throughout the entire camper. So that's where we stand for now. I'm gonna call it for tonight and get back at it tomorrow morning. Day 2. So last night I left things in a bit of disarray. We're about halfway done, maybe a little more with the demo if you don't include the front area, which I'm gonna rip the ceiling off of and replace the hatch for, but otherwise doesn't look too terrible. I might wallpaper it up there and then just put some springs under my bed, but generally speaking, I think the bed area is actually gonna be okay. Lots to get done today, so I'm gonna work as quickly and efficiently as I can because I really want to get this done today, and the sun is setting now at like 4:30, so we gotta get on it. So the rig is cleaned out as much as it's going to be tonight. And just looking around, I will say there's a lot more space in here. Feels huge, which makes sense because there's literally nothing in here. But it does feel big, which makes me optimistic about being able to utilize the space in a way that's gonna work really well for Tara and I. I'm not gonna change things dramatically from how they were, but what it will allow us to do is not only start fresh, so I'll know there's no mold, there's no water damage, we have a tight sealed envelope on the outside, so we shouldn't run into more issues in the near future. It also means though this project is gonna take a little bit longer than I anticipated. There's so much more that I need to get done this week between ordering things, making design choices, planning out what I'm actually going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, and also working on my truck, which is something that I didn't touch on at all this week, but a huge component of this build. I need new suspension, I need new leaf springs. The bottom of the truck came from Minnesota. It has a lot of rust on it, so I have to go through and make sure it's surface rust. Repair, replace, scrape all of that off and put new undercoating down there before I actually put on the new shocks and leaf springs. And then I also ended up getting some new tires and wheels. So the truck's gonna be looking pretty good in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna throw some new bumpers on there, some upgraded lights because the bumpers are actually torn in a couple places as well. So yeah, we're starting from scratch, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I appreciate you guys being here, for following along with this kind of chaotic journey. I don't know where we're going with it. I don't know what's coming up next. It feels like today I'm starting from scratch because I was not anticipating on pulling things down to this level. Welcome back to the build series. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it as much as I am, and I will see you all next week. Bye.